live updates on the adaptive immune responses of the human body. Currently, viruses, bacteria, and all sorts of pathogens are trying to gain access to your body. On tonight's show, we will take you to the front lines, showing you how our foot soldiers, the T cells, organize an attack on a virus that is attempting to infiltrate your body. Right now we go to Stephanie, who is stationed at our state-of-the-art T cell training facility, located in the thymus.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm here live in front of Thymus University, where thymocytes, the precursors which undergo education and training to make them immunocompetent lymphocytes that can recognize antigens on body cells and differentiate between self cells. This is an extremely selective process in which many T cells that are too aggressive towards body cells are unable to recognize antigens presented on antigen-presenting cells, which include B cells, dendritic cells, and macrophages. The cells that do survive this rigorous process are differentiated from the immune system cells by the presence of T cells receptors on the cell surface. After T cells graduate Thymus University, they enter the bloodstream and then secondary lymphoid organs. Autoreactive T cells are cells that attack the body's own proteins, and they are not allowed out of the thymus. Here we see some rare footage during Thymus University's arching ceremony of an autoreactive T cell trying to escape the thymus.
I don't mean to. Your time is up, my time is now.
Oh
You
no!
can't see, my time is now. It's the flashlight, I'm shining now.
Oh my god!
Today's guest speaker is the lieutenant in charge of the soldiers that protect our bodies from attack. Welcome, Lieutenant Helper T Cell.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you organize and initiate the attack from pathogens?
Helper T cells play a central role in adaptive immunity by mobilizing both humoral and cellular responses. When they're in unactivated form, called CD4 T cells, and once an antigen-presenting cell activates a helper C cell, it can activate B and T cells.
Wow, you guys have a big job. Do helper T cells assist any other cells of the body?
Helper T cells also help killer T cells to do their job. So by mobilizing both the cellular and humoral immune responses, helper T cells are the initiators and organizers of the body's defense mechanism.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Helper T Cell. So what kind of weapons do the helper T cells use to initiate the immune response?
After it binds, the helper T cells release cytokines that induce B cells to divide more rapidly and signals for antibody formation to begin.
Wow.
Breaking news.
Welcome back to T Cell NZ. We have recently received information about how helper T cells are activated by antigen-presenting cells. These antigen-presenting cells have specialized uniforms issued by a company called MHC. The antigen-presenting cells present antigen bombs that are recognized by helper T cells and activate helper T cells' management role.
There are two versions of this uniform, MHC-1, which is worn by all the cells of the body except red blood cells and are recognized by cytotoxic C cells, and MHC-2, which are worn by antigen-presenting cells, white blood cells, and B cells, which are recognized by helper T cells. Helper T cells deal with foreign terrorist threats called exogenous antigens coming from outside the cells. Was that good enough? Here we see the aftermath of the battle, where the debris of dead cells and antigens are being cleaned up by macrophages and monocytes. Regulatory T cells release cytokines that turn off other kinds of T cells.
Regulatory T cell.
Wow, that was some amazing footage. Cytotoxic T cells deal with domestic terrorist threats from inside the cell called endogenous antigens. In a deadly double handshake, the MHC1 protein recognizes the CDA glycoprotein on the T cell, and the T cell recognizes the antigen on the MHC protein. Once cytotoxic T cells are activated by MHC class I proteins, they kill cells infected with viruses and cancer by chemical warfare. They release perforins that make holes in the membrane. Next, the killer T cell injects granulozymes that initiate the infected cell's self-destruct, called apoptosis. Here we have some footage of a cytotoxic T cell being activated.
Here we have some rare footage of a cytotoxic T cell at work.
Virus! 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 Ah! 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 I'm gonna go
I didn't mean to do that.
responses. Helper T cells are the
Cytotoxic T cell! Helper T cell!
MHC1, which is worn by all the cells of the blood of the body except red blood. red blood.